Hi, my name is Mitra Manesh. I'm a servant. I serve through teaching, coaching, consulting, or any other way that I can find to share what I know with those who want to know. And this Lights On podcast is one of those ways. It was created with consciousness and mindful living in heart. So join us as we travel through many roads of learning and transformation together. And if you enjoy our podcast, please give us feedback by rating us 5-star and share us with others if you think they may benefit from it. On behalf of my team, I thank you for your presence. This week's podcast is about imagination in general and specifically about the usage of imagination. We normally attribute imagination and creation to a very specific part of the population. We think kids or artists are only able to imagine and hence create with like the power of imagination, which is not really true. We are all Imagineers. We are all creators. But the question is, are we doing it knowingly? Are we doing it to improve and expand our lives, or are we doing it to just get more worried and more anxious and more upset about things as they have been or they may be in the future? So in this episode, it's a class that I'm teaching. It was a 4-week class that I was teaching called, I think, Imagination, Creation, or Imagination, Creativity, and Mindfulness. And we talk about the actual usage of imagination for creating a better life. Let's take a listen together. First of all, I want to talk about the applications of imagination. So where do we use it? That's great, Mitra. We're imagining. We had a bit of fun. What do we do with it now? Is it good for anything? It's good for many things. First of all, we can use imagination to unfold other possibilities in existing situations that we may have in life. That's what they used to call it in organizational context, brainstorming, which I would like to call heartstorming, actually, because that's where true creativity exists, when there's a connection between the mind and the heart. So to really unfold other possibilities that I can't see because I'm very limited right now, especially if I'm in a challenging situation, to really see what else is possible for a particular situation. And usually the situation is when I have a problem, a challenge, or something that I need to decide on. That's one application of imagination. The second application of it is to really imagine something completely new for myself, something that I've never had, or maybe I haven't even seen, and I'm imagining it. I'm just going wild with my imagination. What if like when last week I talked about these kids that I asked to imagine, swimming pools, and they went to unlimited number of swimming pools, the one that is transparent, and they were giggling and they were saying, we're standing underneath it and we're seeing people's bums, and like they imagined so many things, and they imagined pink swimming pool and a triangular swimming pool. So something that they've never had, but they allowed their imagination to go there. So that's a second place. That's where inventions come from. If imagination wasn't there, you and I wouldn't have electricity. Because I'm sure people made fun of Edison when he talked about electricity. I'm sure people made fun of many people when they talked about, cell phones would have been like something that you had to imagine was not possible. And not long time ago, I remember just 20 years ago that, first time I installed a car phone in my car was like it was such an advanced thing that I had, and there were no cell phones. So imagination allows you to give birth to that which has not been. And that's where progress comes. That's where invention comes. That's when real transformation comes in life. And of course, we can imagine at different levels. We can imagine to have physical things. We can imagine a state of being, emotional, mental, spiritual. Where do I want to go spiritually? But there are things about my life or the way I want to experience life that has never been. There's a third aspect of imagination that is very interesting to look at, especially now that we're all very sensitive about our isolation. We're very sensitive about our future, where we're going politically, where we're going energetically, where we're going in any case, really. I mean, drive through cities and ask yourself, like, where are we going? This is not how it was a few months ago. So where is this life going? And this is a very good time. And I'm hoping that we spend some time at the end of this course to look at our imagination for our collective world, collective community. Where do we want to go as a whole, as humankind? Because we have been quite unkind so far. Do we really want to continue being humankind, and that we can really start imagining collectively together to build that place we call Earth, we call world, we call home? Where, how do we want it to be collectively? So these are different kinds, different types of imagination, application for imagination. How can we use imagination? What is it good for? People usually ask for it, because usually imagination is attributed to either kids or only artists or people who are creative. Well, we are all creative. You are creating, whether you want it or not, whether you notice it or not. You are always creating. The question is, the creation, is it happening knowingly as an active participant, or is it happening through a program, which is usually really fear-based, and it's just happening because you're here and you're alive and it's happening? So these are applications of imagination. Hope this episode answered the question or two for you, or provoked and inspired questions in you. I'm so grateful you showed up and listened up. Until the next time, be well and stay curious.